So we're gonna clean up the white truck here. I'm gonna take you guys through all the steps. I'm gonna wash it, I'm gonna clay bar it, do the inside, do the carpets, throw a wax on it, and I think I'm gonna polish the wheels up pretty good, along with the windows and tire shine and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to show you as much as I can, take you through the steps, a little bit more expanded upon than the, you know. We'll do a quick walk around. The rims, they don't look bad, but they have really no shine to them. We'll try to get in. It's pretty dirty, and a lot of this stuff is gonna be, I don't even wanna know what that stuff is. A lot of this stuff is gonna be really stuck on the paint. So we're definitely gonna clay bar the truck. Yeah, you could see. I can't remember the last time I washed a truck. I want to say it was right before I did that other video when I had the truck in the shop on the lift talking about the old Fords and, you know, what to look out for these on these trucks. I think that was really the last time I washed it. That has to be 3 weeks ago now. So we're gonna give it a good clean. Let me show you the inside. Really try to give you guys an idea of what it looks like beforehand. I mean, it's really just normal, everyday use type of dirty. I try my best, though it's difficult at times. I try my best to keep the truck decently clean on the regular, but I do neglect it from time to time. I think it's due for a really serious once over. So let's get started. So I'm just filling up all my stuff. We got an all-purpose here, and we got just for reference, this jug, I'll save it. You never know when something like this can come in handy working around the garage, an empty jug. If you have a ton of them, you don't have to save every single one, but it's good to have a couple hanging around now and then that are empty, that you could clean out and use them for another use, whatever that very well may be. This and the all-purpose, those you're gonna wanna mix a little bit water with them. You don't have to use them full strength. So I'm probably gonna go 1-to-1 on this. This stuff is strong. If you go too strong with it, it'll bother your throat. It'll give you a sore throat. So it's strong. Cut it 50-50. It's more than enough. So I gotta remember, I gotta throw some water in this. Oh, I know. I was using this one in there. That one doesn't. Actually goes for a different bottle, but does it work? Yeah, it works. Doesn't work great. Yeah.
Well, as far as like stores and stuff, traffic, yeah, no, traffic is definitely, dude, it's like that during the week. It's like that during the week.
So we got the truck all washed, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think I need to clay bar it. I'm gonna do it anyway, but it actually cleaned up really well. So there, we did Andy's truck, we did the diesel, just wetted the truck down, hit it with the all-purpose, hit him down with the mitt, real good wash, real good detail, wheel wells, the whole thing, went over it a couple times, blasted it off. Try to see if I can show on camera what this clay bar is doing and how I'm using it. So taking the clay bar, I needed the clay bar over to get a clean spot. So it's pretty clean, there's nothing really stuck on it. I'm gonna start up here and I'm just gonna very lightly back and forth. Now, you probably can't see but I can tell you as I'm going over, I can feel when it grabs some debris. Now, I can't tell you what it is, whether it's dirt or tar, cast iron dust, whatever it may be, but I can actually feel it as it goes over the paint. So here, let me grab the wash mitt. Let me get a little bit more soap on there. That's another thing you gotta, like I said, you gotta keep it heavy on the soap, heavy on the solution. So just going back and forth. And I can just try to overlap where you're going. The bottoms of the panels are gonna be the worst. That's where you're gonna feel the most of the debris. But as you go over the whole panel, you will feel little points where the clay is grabbing and is pulling. And as you rub, you'll feel it dragging, and then it'll stop dragging and it'll go back to that nice gliding feeling. And that gliding is what you want. You know the panel's clean if the clay bar glides all over the whole entire panel. If it's not catching any more rough spots, let's see if we can, after we do this bottom here, try to do one section at a time. Let's take a look at the bar and see what it looks like. Yeah, you can see it. All that stuff on the bar, that was all on the paint, and you would have never saw that. And like I said, the truck, after I washed it, I really almost decided not to clay bar it, but see, I'm gonna flip it now to the clean side. We're gonna keep going. It does a nice polish, especially on white. White is one of those colors where sometimes you buff it and you'll see a difference. Sometimes you buff it and you don't see much of a difference. And, you know, excuse me. So white's one of those colors, sometimes you buff it, you see a difference. Sometimes you buff it and you really don't see a difference. I do see a difference with going over it with the polish. So I went over it with the polish. Then my next step, I just went over it with this quick express wax. I wish I had a paste wax. I prefer doing a paste wax by hand, but I don't have any, so I'm just working with what I got. At this point, and then I did the outside windows. So the outside of the truck, except for polishing the rest of the wheels and shining the tires, is pretty much done. I think the work on the inside is gonna take me a little bit of time. It's hard to tell, but carpet's got some stain in. These carpets are nasty. They gotta get vacuumed, cleaned out. You might shampoo those out just to get those taken care of. But yeah, so just give you guys an idea what she looks like. Let me see if I can take a step back. All right, let's bring this tornado to town. Here we go. Try to show you guys how it works. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see it's got some stain in there. Let's blast away. Here we go. So we just went over it with the tornado, and now as you can see, a lot of that staining, a lot of the like light mud kind of staining on the carpet's gone. There was a nasty black spot, I think it was right over here. That's gone. So with that tool, with that tornado, it doesn't throw a ton of water. So even though I hit the carpet pretty heavy, it's damp, but it's not soaking wet. Now, if you want to go over it with a wet dry vac, that's not a bad idea. But if it's warm like it is today and I park this outside, within a short amount of time, these would be dry to the touch. It doesn't soak them like it would if you were hitting them with a hose and really shampooing them like that. That's what I use for interiors. I have used extraction machines, and those do work great. I don't have one at the moment. The Tornado is a really, really good substitution. I think those go for about $100 to $125, depending on which one you buy. I think mine is the middle of the grade. I think there's ones below it, and then there's ones over it. What I can tell you is there are a lot of cheap knockoffs on eBay and stuff. If you're buying this, buy the Tornado brand, because the internals, like where that needle is that's spinning and shooting out the high pressure fluid, that stuff in the cheap ones is plastic and it won't last. It's just better quality. Sometimes you can get away with generic stuff, but sometimes you're better off just spending the money on the better quality. So I'll show you the carpets. I went over those quick with the Tornado, and I hit them real quick with the vacuum. I did the same on this side. Now, this side has a really, because this obviously is the side that gets used the most, and when I step in this truck, I constantly step right here. So there's probably still some discoloration in here. It's not gonna go 100% of the way. I'd have to spend more time, probably go over it a few more times and keep working it, but it's more than adequate for what I wanted to do today. But I wanted to show you guys how that works. Now you can use that on pretty much the whole interior, but you want to be careful. If you're spraying near electrical switches, you don't want to soak them because you don't want to end up having one not work after you're done cleaning. You could use it on the headliners. You can use it on all the dash pieces, so you could pretty much bomb the whole interior of the car. So if you wanted to, you could do it two ways. You could either take the all-purpose in the spray bottle and just spray everything down, let it soak for a minute or two, and then hit it with the Tornado with just water in it. Or you can mix some all-purpose with the water in the Tornado, which is what I did, and then I just sprayed the spray bottle in the real heavy parts. So I sprayed all those really dirty parts first, I let them sit, then I went with the Tornado, I blasted it down, and then on this side I went over it with the wet drag vac, but I didn't even do that on the other side, it doesn't really need it.